students, welcome to Dakshina E-Classroom. So guys, how are you all? I hope you all are well and you are studying very well, and please continue to do that with discipline and motivation. So we'll be starting our new lecture of center of mass, and we had done our first lecture in the last lecture. So in that we had studied little bit about center of mass, some basics about center of mass, and how we can calculate the location of center of mass, velocity of center of mass and acceleration of center of mass if we have n number of particles in a system. And we had got that when we find out velocity of center of mass, we get P net of the system, complete momentum of the system divided by total mass of the system. And acceleration of center of mass was what? The F net on the system divided by total mass of the system. And we had done very easy problems on the calculation of center of mass. We had taken some masses which are located at different coordinates, and then we tried to find out what is the location of center of mass. So if we have a symmetric geometry, if we have a symmetric setup of particles, then we are going to get the center of mass located at the geometrical center of that particular body. So like if we have a uniform rod, then where the center of mass will lie? At the midpoint of the length of the rod. If we have a ring, uniform ring, its thickness is uniform in all the places, then the center of mass will lie at the center of the ring, है ना? And again, if we have a particle which is kept here, which is of mass m, another particle which is kept here, which is of mass m, then center of mass will lie exactly at the midpoint of the line joining the two particles. And again, we had seen that if we have mass m1, mass m2, which is separated by a distance d, then when we find out the center of mass location, that location of center of mass divides this line joining the two particles in the ratio inverse of their mass, है ना? So हम लोगों को क्या मिला था? The distance of first particle from center of mass is to the distance of second particle from center of mass was equal to m2 by m1. So we had done all of these. So now in this lecture we will be seeing some more problems related to calculation of center of mass, and then we'll move to our next topic. So let's say in the last lecture we had taken a problem 0, 1 and 0, minus 1. This was the location of two masses of mass m and mass m, or 1 kg, 1 kg. Whatever mass we had taken, it was same for both the particles. Both the particles were identical. Now I am saying that I am taking mass equals to 2m for this and 3m, or m for this and 3m for this. Then what will happen? So basically the two particles are located. One is at 0, 1, x is 0, y is 1. Another is at 0, minus 1. X is 0, y is minus 1. So when we have m and m, so m is kept here, m is kept here. The location of center of mass will be exactly at the midpoint, which is 0, 0. Now I am saying that I am taking mass m and mass 3m. In that case, what is happening? Here we have mass m and here we have mass 3m. So now the density of mass at this region is more. So center of mass will get shifted. Center of mass कहाँ होगा? For this system of particles, center of mass will be closer to this mass. Clear? Closer to this mass. हमने क्या देखा? भाई, if we have two particles A and B, and this is the center of mass location C, this is m1, this is m2, and this total distance is d, then what we had got? That AC divided by CB is equal to m2 divided by m1. So the distance of, if mass is less, the distance of the center of mass will be more from this mass. If this mass is less, then center of mass will be far from this mass. So if we have here m1 less than m2, let's say, if we have m1 less than m2, it means m1 less than m2, it means CB less than AC. If we have m1 less than m2, then we will have CB less than AC. CB is less than AC. It means the CB is smaller. So let's take this point C here. CB is less than AC. It means the center of mass is lying closer to B. Center of mass is lying closer to M2. So when we have M2 greater, center of mass is lying closer to that mass. And simple, it is very simple. If you have mass density more, then center of mass will be lying in that region, because center of mass is something, a point which represents the complete mass of the system. Clear? So where the mass density will be more, the location of center of mass will be closer to that region. Clear? So now here instead of m and m we are taking m and 3m. So one side we have more mass. So now the center of mass will get shifted towards this. So here we have m, here we have 3m. This is 0, 1 and this is 0, -1. So now center of mass will not lie here, it will lie somewhere here. So can we calculate that? Yes. So now we have x of center of mass is going to be 0 because on x-axis there is no mass at all. On x-axis there is no mass at all. So the center of mass, coordinate of center of mass is going to be 0. So if you want to calculate m1x1 plus m2x2 divided by m1 plus m2, it is 0. Clear? Now y of center of mass, m1y1 plus m2y2 divided by total mass. So what we got? Minus 3m plus m. So minus 2m divided by 4m, it is minus half. So it is lying somewhere here. If this is -1, this is -half. Center of mass is lying at this point, this particular point. Now center of mass is not lying at this point. Clear? So it has shifted towards the more mass density. So like this, if you have 2-3 particles, let's say I have one more setup where the mass is lying at 1, 4 and at 1, 4 and 2, 2. So if we have mass m here and mass m here, clear? So now where the center of mass will lie? So now we have two particles of same mass. So definitely the center of mass will lie at the center of the line joining the two particles. Clear? Can you find out the center? So here we have 1, here it is 2. So 1 plus 2 by 2. है ना? Midpoint कैसे निकालेंगे? 1 plus 2 by 2. So it is 3 by 2, comma 4 plus 2 by 2, 6 by 2. It means 3. So 3 by 2, comma 3 means 1.5, comma 3. So now if we will find out with the help of this, what I write? X of center of mass is equal to m1x1 plus m2x2 divided by m1 plus m2. Y of center of mass will be m1x1 m1y1 plus m2y2 divided by m1 plus m2. So it is 3m by 2, 3m by 2m, so 3 by 2. It is 6m by 2m, so it is 3. Clear? So now we are getting the center of mass at the midpoint. So here we have, this is 1, this is 2. So definitely this is 1.5, 1, 2 and at the midpoint it is 1.5. So x coordinate is 1.5 also. Here it is 2, it is 4. So the midpoint will be 3. So this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 1, this is 1.5, this is 2 and this is the location of center of mass. So like this, if we have many particles, now if I replace this m with 3m, so now the center of mass, location of center of mass will get shifted somewhere here. So now what we'll have, here we are going to have 3m and here also 3m. And now what I'll get? 6m plus 1. So here it will be 7 and now we have total mass which is 4m. Total mass which is 4m. So what we'll get? 7 and here we'll get 4 and here 3 into 2, 10 by 4. Clear? So now the center of mass location will get shifted towards the mass 3m. So these are the two particle system. We have just taken two particles. Now they can provide you n number of particles, 6 particles, 10 particles and they'll ask you to find out the location of center of mass. So definitely we can find out with the help of this formula. And if you have directly symmetry geometry, then you can find out it directly. So I'll give some more examples. So let's say we have a triangle where at this vertex we have mass m, here 2m and here 3m. And the side of this triangle is A and this is an equilateral triangle. This is an equilateral triangle. These are the vertex A, B and C. So now you have to find out the location of center of mass from vertex A. Location of center of mass from vertex A. So please try to solve these problems. Here we have m, 2m, 3m and 4m. Clear? Now again find out the location of center of mass from vertex A. this is square of side A, this is hexagon of side A. Find the location of center of mass from the center of hexagon. Find the location of center of mass from the center of hexagon or from point O. Clear? So please try to solve this problem. So now how we are going to do? So here we have to find out the location of center of mass from A. Location of center of mass from A. So what I am doing, I need the coordinates of C, I need the coordinates of B, because these masses are not lying on a line. They are lying in a plane. So we need to get the coordinates of the masses, and then only we will be able to find out. So now here what I will do, I will take this as Y, this is X, and this is the origin. Clear? So I am taking A as origin, and definitely I have to find out the location of center of mass from A. So whatever will be the coordinate, this is origin. Whatever will be the coordinate of center of mass, that will be the distance of center of mass from vertex A, है ना? So it will be simple if we will take this as origin. उससे और एक क्या फायदा हो रहा है? That the coordinates of A are 0, 0. Coordinates of M are 0, 0. So now my calculation will get reduced by a little amount. Clear? So now, can you find out the coordinates of mass 2m? Yes, it is lying on x-axis, so its y coordinate is 0, and it is lying on the x is equal to a. This length is a, so this will be x is equal to a. This is 0, and this length is a, so this will be x is equal to a. So its coordinates are a, 0. Now we know this length is a, this length is a. Can we find out the coordinates of this? So here vectors will come into picture. So vectors, how we will use? So now this length is a, this length is a. So this component of this length is going to be its y coordinate. X component of this length a is going to be its x coordinate. This is the x coordinate, this is the y coordinate of 3m. है ना? So now we need to find out the angle. So this is equilateral triangle. So this is going to be 60, 60. This total is 60. So this is 30. Now this angle is 30. This angle is 30. Or directly you can say if this is 60, this is 30. So now this will be a cos 30. And this will be a sin 30. So a sin 30. Yeah. So now we have a sin 30 is its x coordinate. A cos 30 is its y coordinate. This length is x coordinate, this length is y coordinate. So now we have a cos 30 is y coordinate, a sin 30 is x coordinate. So this will be a by 2 and this will be a root 3 by 2. Now directly you could directly say that its coordinate, x coordinate is going to be a by 2. Why? Because it is lying exactly at the midpoint of this line. Exactly at the midpoint of this line. So x coordinate will be a by 2. You can directly say it. But now we have found out in another way also. So now we have coordinates of all the three masses. Now can you find out the location of center of mass? Yes. Now one more thing to be observed is just look at the y locations. Just look at the y location. So this line, this complete line is y is equal to 0. This complete line is y is equal to 0. And this complete line is y is equal to root 3a by 2. है ना? This complete y value of y is what here? This length is root 3a by 2. So this is y is equal to root 3a by 2 line. Now at this line we have mass 3m, and at this line also we have mass m plus 3m. Clear? So at this line we have total mass 3m. At this line we have total mass 3m. So where the y coordinate of center of mass will lie? Here we have 3m mass, here we have 3m mass. So definitely it will lie at the mid y. So if this is 3m root 3a by 2 and this is y is equal to 0, what will be the midline, mid y value? So y mid will be this total divided by 2. So this total length is root 3a by 2. So its half will be root 3a by 4. I am just telling you what all other ways we can do. At last we are going to use the x of center of mass is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 and all that. So for now y mid is equal to root 3 by 2. So definitely the y location of center of mass is going to be root 3a by 4. This is the y location of center of mass. Here the y will lie. Now here we can see that at this point we have m mass, at this point we have 2m mass. ठीक है? And this location, this is at exactly midpoint. Clear? So यहाँ पे जो x की लोकेशन आएगी कैसे निकालेंगे? So one more thing you can observe that पहले क्या करो, you have three system of particles. So first locate the two particles. So now here we have m, here we have 2m. क्या आप इन दोनों का सेंटर ऑफ मास निकाल सकते हो? So यहाँ पे हमारे पास क्या जाएगा, इन दोनों का सेंटर ऑफ मास will lie somewhere here. And एक मास यहाँ पे बचा हुआ है. ठीक है, तो हमारे पास आ गया है y mid. x mid कैसे निकालेंगे, x of center of mass कैसे निकालेंगे? So x of center of mass is equal to its x coordinate is 0, its x coordinate is 2m, and its x coordinate is a by 2. So m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 divided by total mass 3 plus 2 plus 1 6m. So this is 0. Here we have 2ma plus 3ma by 2 divided by 6, and here it will be 7m. M will get cancelled. So 7a by 2. So x coordinate of center of mass is 7a by 2 and y coordinate of center of mass is root 3a by 4. Now if I want to find out y of center of mass with the help of this, so what we'll get, y of center of mass is equal to m1 by 1 plus m2 by 2, its m coordinate is again 0, plus m3 by 3 divided by total mass. So what we'll get, this is 0, this is 0. So here we have 3 root 3 m a divided by 2 into 6m. So here we got root 3a by 4. So the location of center of mass is 7a by 2, 7a by 2. It will be somewhere here. 7a by 2 will be somewhere here, and root 3a by 4, it will be exactly at the middle. So now when we are talking about y coordinate, so at this particular y we have 3m, at this particular y we have 3m. So it is at जो भी यहाँ पे mid वाला y आएगा, about that mid y location we have symmetric mass distribution. Here we have 3m, here we have 3m. So that's why the center of mass, y location of center of mass is lying exactly at the middle. Now how we will find out the middle location? So this total length is root 3a by 2. So this length will be root 3a by 4, half of the total length. Now please solve the next question. There we have square. So again, if there is any symmetry, please try to find out that symmetry and try to find out the location of center of mass. So now here again we have to find out the location of center of mass from A. So I'll take this as origin. So if side is A, what will be the location of B? It will be a comma 0. Its location will be, y coordinate is a and x coordinate is 0. Its location will be a comma a. This is origin, and this is y, this is x. Clear? So now if we see at this location, at x is equal to 0 we have 4m plus m. So at x is equal to 0, we have total 5m mass. At x is equal to 0, we have total 5m mass. At x is equal to a, we have total 3m plus 2m. Again here we have 5m mass. So now the at x is equal to 0 we have 5m, at x is equal to a we have 5m. So what will be the location, x location of center of mass? It will be at exactly mid of this total length. So it will be at a by 2, है ना? It will be at a by 2. So the x location of center of mass, x of center of mass is going to be a by 2. Now if we see y, so at this particular y we have how much mass? 4m plus 3m, 7m. And at this particular y, this is the y locations. When you are talking about height, vertical displacement, it is y location. So at this y location we have 7m, at this y location we have 2m plus m, 3m. So here 7m, here 3m. Where the mass density will be more? At this side mass density is more. So the mass will not lie exactly at the midpoint, it will be lie somewhere above the midpoint, above the mid location. So it cannot lie here. If we had 5m here, 5m here, or 7m here, 7m here, it would have lied on this line. But now here we have more density of mass, so इससे थोड़ा सा ऊपर lie करेगा. So y of center of mass will be m1y1 plus m2y2 plus m3y3 plus m4y4 divided by total mass. So we have 4 plus 3, 7, 9, 10. 10 m. So y of center of mass is, this is 0, this is 0. 7a by 10. 7a by 10. Clear? So here we have approximately 0.7a. 0.7a. If it was lying at a by 2, this location is what? This is 0.5a. And this mass is lying at 0.7a. Matlab somewhere here. So y location is 0.7a. If we find out the x location in this way, so m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 plus m4 x4 divided by 10m. So what we are getting? 5ma divided by 10m. It is a by 2, which is 0.5a. So x location is a by 2. So a by 2 comma 0.5a comma 0.7a. R of center of mass is 0.5a comma 0.7a. It will be 0.5a this position and 0.7a this position. So center of mass is lying at this point. अगर यहाँ पे हम लोग का mass distribution same होता m, then where the center of mass will lie? It will lie at this point. Clear? Because we have 2m here, 2m here. So it will be lying at mid y. Here we have 2m, here we have 2m. So it will lie at mid x. So basically it is going to lie at the center of the geometrical shape or center of the system. So now here if we have all the m. So where the center of mass will lie? Center of mass will lie at this point. But now we have 4m here and 2m here. Clear? So center of mass is going to lie somewhere down this line. We'll try to find out that. So now we have, I will take this as origin. ठीक है? आप धीरे-धीरे जब solve करेंगे, you will come to know how to take origin and all this. So I am taking this point as origin. Clear? So now I will have to find out the location of the different masses. So now this total length, this length of the hexagon is A. This length of the hexagon is A. So now in hexagon, here we have A and these sides are also AA. How? So here we are dividing this 360 degree in 6 parts. We are dividing this 360 degree in 6 parts. So if we divide 360 in 6 parts, every angle is going to be 60, 60, 60, 60, 60. Clear? All the angles are 60. And now these lengths are going to be same because it's a regular hexagon. So if these lengths are same, again this is 60, this is 60. So all the triangles are equilateral triangles. All the triangles are equilateral triangles. So if this side is A, this side is A, all the sides are A. Clear? So here we have, this is A. Now if I am taking this as origin, so this is 0, 0. Now this point is at how much distance? It is at A distance. So its location will be A, 0. Its location will be minus A, 0. Okay? Can you find out all the coordinates? Yes. So please try to find out. This is A, 0. This is minus A, 0. Now how we will find out this location? So we have, this length is what? This length is A. है ना? यहीं पे करते हैं. So this length is A. From the center, every vertex will be at A distance. I have already showed you that. So this length is A. Now, this total angle is 60 degree. Simple geometry we have to use here. This total angle is 60 degree. I am dividing this angle in 2 parts. So this will be 30, this will be 30. So this angle is 30 degree. This angle is 30 degree. So now if you know this length which is A and this angle which is 30, so A cos 30 is this length. A cos 30 is this length. And this will be the y coordinate for this particle and for this particle. And same will be for this particle and this particle, but in negative. This is simple geometry, you must know this. So this is A, geometry plus vector. So A, this will be A cos 30. आप trigonometry बोल लो. Here we are using a right angle triangle where this angle is 30 degree. This is A. We can write cos 30 is equal to this divided by this. So this length will be A cos 30. So A cos 30 means this y coordinate is going to be A cos 30 root 3A by 2, and what will be the x coordinate of this point? It will be 0. So for this location y coordinate is going to be root 3A by 2. For this location y coordinate is root 3A by 2. For this location y coordinate is minus root 3A by 2, minus root 3A by 2. Now we want to find out its x location. For x location I want to know this length. So simply by looking also you can say this is going to be A by 2, half of this. But if you want to find out, what we'll do? This is A cos 30, this is A sin 30, A sin 30, A sin 30, A sin 30. A sin 30 means A by 2. So its x coordinate will be A by 2 and root 3A by 2. So A by 2 comma root 3A by 2. For this minus A by 2 comma root 3A by 2, it is kept at minus x axis. Its coordinate will be A by 2 comma minus root 3A by 2. And its coordinates will be minus A by 2, minus x axis, minus y axis, minus root 3A by 2. So now we have coordinates of all the particles. So can we find out the location of center of mass now? So here we have x of center of mass. Clear? X of center of mass. So m, 2m and 2m. Clear? Now one more thing we can do is, see, if we look at only these two particles, it is kept at A and it is kept at minus A. Okay? Minus A, comma 0, A, comma 0. What will be their location? Just for those two particles, what will be the location of center of mass? It will be at this point, exactly middle point. Here we have M, it is kept at minus A, it is kept at plus A. So its location will be at this point. And what will be the mass? Mass will be 2m. So I am just trying to make a smaller system. So I have reduced this two system particle to one system particle, and that one system particle will be what? It will be center of mass, which is going to represent this complete system of two masses. So the center of mass is lying at this point. What is its mass? Its mass is equal to total mass of the system, m plus m, 2m, and location will be this. So here we have 2m mass. Now in new system I have a mass kept at origin and its location, its mass is 2m. Similarly, for these two particles, their center of mass, this is the line joining them. This is their center of mass is going to lie exactly at this point, exactly at the midpoint. Clear? And what will be the mass of this center of mass? M plus m. So the new location, here we have a mass of 2m. Clear? Here we have a mass of 2m. And what is its coordinates? 0 comma root 3a by 2. 0 comma root 3a by 2. Clear? So here we have 0 comma root 3a by 2. On this location we have a mass 2m. Do we exactly have that mass here? No, it is just representation of this system of particles. This is the representation of this system of particles. Similarly, we can do for this. So here we have 2m, here we have 2m. So at exactly midpoint we are going to have 4m mass. So here we have 4m mass, which is kept at what coordinates? 0 comma minus root 3a by 2. Clear? So now we have 2m, 2m and 4m lying at these coordinates. Clear है? So अब यहाँ पे आपके पास एक नया system है, system of 3 particles, and you have their coordinates. So now I can find out. Now all the masses are lying on x-axis, y-axis. Clear? All the masses are lying on y-axis. So x coordinate of center of mass is going to be 0. X coordinate of center of mass is going to be 0. If you write m1 plus m2 x2, m1 x1 0, m2 x2 0, m3 x3 0 divided by total mass. It's 0. Y of center of mass, m1 x1, m1 by 1. So 2m into root 3a by 2 plus m1 by 1, m2 by 2, 2m into 0 plus m3 by 3. So 4m into minus root 3a by 2. Clear? Divided by total mass. So this is 0. Here this is getting cancelled. So we have root 3a divided by total mass. 4 plus 2, 8 plus 2, 10. 10m. So root 3a minus 2 root 3a divided by 10m. So this will get cancelled. We'll get minus root 3a by 10. Minus root 3a by 10 matlab somewhere here in this region. So definitely we had seen that if we have more mass at this locations, then center of mass is going to lie somewhere here, and we are seeing that it is lying below this line, है ना? So center of mass is lying at minus root 3a by 2, minus root 3a by 10 as a y location. Clear? So it is lying below the x-axis. So you can do in this way. If you have symmetry somewhere, then reduce that system, and like that I have done, reduce this system, and reduce this system. Or else you can simply use x of center of mass, which we always do. So here we have m into minus a plus m into a plus 2m into a by 2 plus 2m into minus a by 2. ठीक है, 1 2 3 4 plus m into minus a by 2 plus m into a by 2. So these two are getting cancelled, these two are getting cancelled, and these two are getting cancelled. Divided by total mass 10m, it is 0. Similarly you can do for y. So y of center of mass will be equal to m1 by 1 plus m1 by 1 plus m2 by 2 plus m3 by 3. So 2m into minus root 3a by 2 plus m4 by 4, 2m into minus root 3a by 2 plus m5 by 5, m into root 3a by 2 plus m6 by 6. So m into root 3a by 2. So if you solve this, divided by 10m, again this is 0, this is 0. Some of them will get cancelled. So here we have m root 3a by 2, m root 3a by 2, 2m root 3a by 2. So this plus this minus. So now we have here it is getting cancelled. So root 3 minus root 3a by 10, m will get cancelled. So minus root 3a by 10. Clear? So from here also we are getting the same results. So please, when you are seeing some symmetry, then try to reduce the system of particles by taking their center of mass, and the center of mass will have total mass equals to mass of the system. So that way we will be able to calculate the center of mass. So sometimes they will give 10 particles, 12 particles, or sometimes they will give 4, 5 particles. So like this we will be able to solve the problem. Now I will give some more examples. So if we have m1 is equal to, let's say 1 kg, and its location is r1 is equal to I cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap, m2 is equal to 2 kg, r2 is equal to 3i cap plus j cap plus k cap, m3 is equal to 3 kg, r3 is equal to 2i cap plus 3j cap plus 2k cap. Then find the location of center of mass. So location of center of mass will be r of center of mass. So what we'll do, m1 r1, m1 into r1. I'll just write 1 comma 2 comma 3. It means it is 1i cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap plus, or I'll just write, because we are solving first problem only, I cap plus 2j cap plus 3k cap, m1 r1 plus m2 r2, m2 r2 plus m3 r3 divided by total mass. 3 plus 2 plus 1, 6. So now we have some terms of I cap, some terms of j cap. So I cap take terms of I cap together. So I cap 6 I cap 6 I cap. So we have 13 I cap plus 2 j cap 2 j cap 9 j cap. 13 j cap plus 3 k cap 2 k cap plus 6 k cap 11 k cap divided by 6. So this is the location of center of mass. 13 by 6 I cap plus 13 by 6 j cap plus 11 by 6 k cap will be the location of center of mass. So now what we can say, that instead of saying all about these particles, we can say a mass of 3 plus 2 5 plus 1. A mass of 6 kg is lying at a coordinate of 13 by 6, 13 by 6, 11 by 6. Clear? So this is the representation of a system which can be considered as a particle, and it is going to represent a complete system. If you have infinite number of particles also, that center of mass is going to represent the complete system. Clear? So these are the some examples of calculation of center of mass. Now similarly, instead of giving the location, if they are giving velocity here, so just replace this by velocity v1 v2 v3, v1 v2 v3. Write the next question, write here v1 v2 v3 and solve the velocity of center of mass. What you will get? You will get velocity is equal to 13 by 6, 13 by 6, 11 by 6. So we have a particle of mass 6 kg which is moving with this much velocity. Instead of saying that m1 is moving with this velocity, m2 with this, m3 with this, we can say that center of mass, a mass of 6 kg, a mass of 6 kg is moving with this much velocity. Or if next question, please write next question, here write a1, a2 and a3. Instead of saying about all the particles, we can say that a mass of 6 kg is having acceleration is equal to this, this and this. Clear? So now here we have taken the constant velocity, constant acceleration, and we are replacing this with velocity and acceleration. We have constant velocity, constant acceleration. They can give velocity as a function of time, है ना? कि आपको दिया कि velocity for this particle is t I cap, velocity for this particle is 2 j cap, and velocity of this particle is, let's say, t plus 1 k cap. Now they can have here I cap plus j cap plus k cap, I cap plus j cap plus k cap, I cap plus j cap plus k cap. I am just taking a simple example. So now here we'll get a variable velocity of center of mass. It will have a variable velocity of center of mass. What will get velocity of center of mass is equal to m1 v1. So 1 into t I cap plus m2 v2, 2 into 2 j cap plus m3 v3, 3 into t plus 1 k cap divided by total mass 6. So here we got t I cap 1 by 6 into t I cap plus 4 j cap plus 3t plus 1 k cap. This is the velocity of center of mass. So now if someone will ask you that what is the acceleration of center of mass, so what we'll do, we'll just differentiate this. So this is common, it will come out. So I cap plus differentiation of this is 0, differentiation of this is 3. So 3k cap. So this is going to be the acceleration of center of mass. Now the center of mass is moving with a constant acceleration. Clear? So just forget about all these three particles. What we can say, that's velocity of center of mass. We have a particle of mass 6 kg which is moving with this much velocity. It has variable velocity in x, constant velocity in y, variable velocity in z, and its center of mass is having an acceleration which is a constant. So now if they are asking you to find out what is the displacement of center of mass in 5 seconds, so simply what we can do, here we can apply in, this is x direction, this is y direction. We have acceleration in x as well as acceleration in y. We can use ut plus half at square because it's a constant acceleration. We can find out displacement in x, displacement in y, and we'll get the net displacement in x as well as y. I'm sorry, here we have z. So this is in z and this is in x. So what we'll do, we can find out separate displacement in x, displacement in z by using s is equal to ut plus half at square, and then we can find out the net displacement, displacement in x, displacement in y, displacement in z. Clear? So here we have velocity of center of mass is there velocity of center of mass is there in x as well as y as well as z, but center of mass has acceleration only in x and z direction. Clear? So these kinds of problem we can have. So now we are not going to solve more problems on this location, finding the location of center of mass. We'll move to the next topic of center of mass. So the next topic is motion of center of mass. Motion of center of mass. And here we are going to solve some very good problems. So write the next topic as motion of center of mass. So the next topic is motion of center of mass. In bracket you can write like this, motion of center of mass. So if we have a system, clear? So there will be some forces acting on it. Maybe the net force on the system is 0. Like we can have a system where we have many particles, let's say for now 3 particles, and they are interacting with each other. It is applying some force on this, and similarly it will apply a force on this. All these 3 are interacting with each other. They are applying force on each other. But now if you see from outside, this system is isolated. You are not applying any force externally. So this system is isolated. So if you see from outside, all the forces are internal. It is applying on this. Similarly, this is applying on this. Like tension, like normal. When you take both particles in the system, then the normal force, tension force, it becomes internal. Similarly, whatever, let's say gravitational force, they are applying gravitational force on each other. So it will become an internal force. You are not applying any external force on this system. So we can have, possibly maybe there are so many forces acting on the particles, but there is a possibility that on the complete system net force is 0. Clear? So here we are talking about that only. So for a system, if we have F net equals to 0 and F net not equal to 0. Clear? So there may be possibly there are many forces. If we see on this particular particle, there is a resultant force on this particle. But for complete system, if we see on this, so here we have force due to this and force due to this. Similarly, on this particle we have force due to this and force due to this. Similarly, on this particle we have force due to this. This one is attracting 2 towards itself and 3 is attracting 2 towards itself. Clear? So now we have net force on this, net force on this, net force on this. But if you see from outside, we are not applying any external force. There is no external force from external agent on A or on 1 or 2 or 3. So if you see from outside, the net force on this system is 0. We are not applying any external force. Clear? So if we have net force equals to 0, so what we had found out in the last lecture, that A of center of mass is equal to F net on the system, divided by total mass of the system. We had found out this thing, that A of center of mass, the acceleration of center of mass will depend on the total force on this system. Whatever system you are taking, if you are taking one particle system or 2 particle system or n numbers of particles or infinite particle system, then we will see the net force on that system divided by total mass will give us the acceleration of center of mass. So if we have net force equals to 0, it means acceleration of center of mass is going to be 0. If you have net force on the system equals to 0, उस complete system पे if net force is 0, there are forces, but net force on this system is 0, then what will get? Acceleration of center of mass is going to be 0. Clear है? इनके बीच में interaction है, but net force is 0. Clear है जी? इसने इस पे G, मान लो इसने इस पे G फोर्स लगाया, F of G, इसने इस पे F of G लगाया, it's internal. इन दोनों का इंटरनल बन गया, इन दोनों का इंटरनल बन गया. क्लियर है? तो नेट फोर्स ऑन दिस कंप्लीट सिस्टम, अब क्या बोल सकते हो, वो तीनों पार्टिकल का एक ही सिस्टम है, हमें अंदर दिखाई नहीं दे रहा अंदर क्या है भाई, हमने बाहर से कोई फोर्स नहीं लगाया. सो व्हाट विल से, वी हैव अ, लेट्स से तीनों के मास 1 kg है, सो वी हैव अ सिस्टम ऑफ 3 kg, we have a system of 3 kg and on which net force is 0. So if we have net force equals to 0, A of center of mass is going to be 0. मतलब individually 1, 2 and 3 can move here and there, लेकिन उनका center of mass का जो acceleration है वो 0 है. Center of mass का acceleration 0 है. If acceleration of center of mass is 0, it means change in velocity of center of mass is 0. A of center of mass is nothing but delta V center of mass divided by delta t. यही है ना. Acceleration मतलब change in velocity. If there is no acceleration, there is no change in velocity. So change in the velocity of center of mass will not change. Velocity of center of mass will remain unchanged. Clear? Velocity of center of mass will remain unchanged. Now again in this case we have two different cases. So if initially center of mass is at rest, and it means u of center of mass is equal to 0, and initially center of mass is moving. Initially center of mass is moving. It means u of center of mass is not equal to 0. So now what we have two cases. If initially center of mass was at rest, initially center of mass was at rest, it means its velocity is not going to change. It means it is not going to gain any velocity. It means it is going to remain at rest. U of center of mass is 0. There is no change in velocity. Then delta V of center of mass is 0. It means center of mass will remain at rest. And if it has some velocity, initially if it had some velocity, let's say 2 km per hour, then center of mass will continue to move with 2 km per hour until this situation is satisfied. जब तक उस पे F net 0 लग रहा है, its velocity, the velocity of center of mass, we are not talking about the individual particles of this system, we are talking about the center of mass. So if initial velocity of center of mass was 0, it was a constant, it is going to remain that constant value, because acceleration of center of mass is 0, velocity of center of mass cannot change. So in this case, it is going to remain at rest, because it was initially at rest, its velocity cannot change. So its velocity is going to be 0, it is going to remain at rest. In this case, it will continue to move with the same velocity. Delta V of center of mass is 0. That's why it will, or the center of mass will continue to move with same velocity. Continue to move with the same velocity. Clear? So if the net force acting on a system is 0, then acceleration of center of mass is 0, velocity of center of mass is constant. If center of mass was at rest, it is going to remain at rest. If it was moving with some velocity, it is going to move with the same velocity. Now I will show you one example how the individual particles are moving but the center of mass is at rest. So now let's say we have a system, here we have mass m and here we have mass m. Clear? So now where the center of mass will lie? Let's say this distance is d. So it will lie at d by 2. Center of mass will lie at d by 2. Now this particle has velocity v and this particle is also having velocity v. Both the particles are having velocity v. It means individual particles are moving, but now let's say let's find out the velocity of center of mass. So velocity of center of mass is equal to m1 v1. So mv plus m2 v2 m minus v. If it is v, this is going to be minus v divided by total mass of the system. क्या आया हमारे पास? 0. ओहो भाई, पार्टिकल्स तो खुद चल रहे थे, सेंटर ऑफ मास नहीं चल रहा है. Center of mass is still at rest. Individual particles are moving, but center of mass is at rest. So just write it as an example. So center of mass, individual particles are moving, but center of mass is at rest. So just let's observe the situation of after 1 second. तो v की जगह इसको हम ले लेते हैं 2 meter per second. 2 meter per second. And this total distance is 10. Initially it is 10. So after 1 second ये कहाँ पे आ गया? 2 meter इधर चल के आ गया ये, और ये भी 2 meter इधर चल के आ गया. So now this total length was 10. अब ये it means ये total कितना था? This was 5. ये 0 है, ये आपका 5 है और ये आपका 10 है. ये आपका x is equal to 0 है. Clear? So initially this distance was 5, this distance was 5. इसने 2 cover किया तो ये कितना बच गया? This distance is now 3. and this distance is now 3. So अब क्या है, now we have two particles. After 1 second what is the situation? We have two particles. ये इधर 3 पे है, या फिर इनके बीच का डिस्टेंस कितना है? We have two particles m and m which are separated by how much distance? 3 and 3, 6 meter. So where the center of mass will lie? It will lie here. So basically initially we had x is equal to 0, x is equal to 10, and here we had one particle, here we had one particle. After 1 second it has moved by how much? It has moved by 2 meters. So now it is at x is equal to 2, and here it has moved by 2 meters, matlab it is at now x is equal to 8. Clear? So now center of mass will lie at x is equal to 5. Center of mass will lie at x is equal to 5. Initially also it was lying at x is equal to 5. यहाँ पे m1 x1 2m, m2 x2 8m, 10m divided by total mass 2m. तो हमारे पास क्या जाएगा? x coordinate will be 5. So initially also x coordinate was 5. Now also x coordinate is 5. Now after 1 second it will be at x is equal to 4, and it will be at x is equal to 6. So again where the center of mass will lie? It will lie at x is equal to 5 only. 4m plus 6m divided by 2m, it is 5. After 1 second ये क्या करेगा? x is equal to 4 से ये पहुंच जाएगा x is equal to 6 पे, ये यहाँ पहुंच गया, और ये x is equal to 6 से 2 मीटर चल के कहाँ पहुंच जाएगा? ये यहाँ पहुंच जाएगा. सेम सिचुएशन हो गई. Now again we have ये मास पहुंच गया है यहाँ पे और ये मास पहुंच गया है यहाँ पे. So basically the particles are moving, individual particles are moving, but center of mass is at rest. I'll give one more example of the same thing. So now we have a system of particles where here we have m, m and m, m and m. Clear? So this is moving in this direction with v, this is moving in this direction with v, and this is moving in this direction with v. So now find out the velocity of center of mass. Find out the velocity of center of mass. Please try to do this. So now these three particles have same speed, but their velocities are different because it's a different vector. This is a different vector. This is a different vector. So velocity of, let's say this is v1 vector, this is v2 vector, and this is v3 vector. So now we have v of center of mass is equal to m1 v1, which is m v1 plus m v2 plus m v3 divided by 3m. So now I will have to add, what I need to add? m v1 plus v2 plus v3 divided by 3m. So basically what I am doing, I am adding these three velocities, v1 velocity plus v2 plus v3. Can you add these three velocities? Yes. We have three vectors, just try to add them. So first vector is like this, and this angle is 60, this is 60, this is 60. So now this is, ये हमारा फर्स्ट वेक्टर हो गया. फर्स्ट वेलोसिटी वेक्टर का डायरेक्शन क्या है? इट इज इन दिस डायरेक्शन. इस पे सेकंड ड्रॉ करो, है ना? फर्स्ट वेक्टर प्लस सेकंड वेक्टर, फर्स्ट वेक्टर प्लस सेकंड वेक्टर. नाउ ड्रॉ थर्ड वेक्टर. सो दिस इज सेकंड वेक्टर, दिस इज सेकंड वेक्टर, और उससे 120 डिग्री पे क्या है? थर्ड वेक्टर. Clear? So now we have three vectors which are making an equilateral triangle. So when we are making a closed geometry, यहाँ पे हम इस जगह से स्टार्ट हुए, पहला वेक्टर प्लस दूसरा वेक्टर प्लस तीसरा वेक्टर, उसी जगह पे आ गए. If you take vectors as a displacement, तो क्या हुआ? Displacement क्या हो गया आपका? 0. So vector sum will also be what? It will be 0. So here v1 plus v2 plus v3 is 0. v1 plus v2 plus v3 is 0. So velocity of center of mass is 0. So these individual particles are moving, but velocity of center of mass is 0. Initially we had seen some examples that if I will pivot this rod here, and now what I will do, I will rotate this rod like this. So if we attach a mass here and a mass here, both the mass are moving, but the center of mass is at rest. Initially we had found out the momentum of the system, and their momentum of center of mass was 0. Similarly we had done for a fan. So all the three blades have some velocity. All the particles which are attached on the blade have some velocity, but the velocity of center of mass or the momentum of center of mass was 0. So I was just giving you the example कि if we have n number of particles, it is possible that all the particles are moving but there is a possibility कि center of mass शायद रेस्ट में हो, वो चल ही ना रहा हो, या फिर हो सकता है कि the center of mass is moving with some constant velocity. कैसे? So let's say we have a box in which we have those two particles जो 10 मीटर के डिस्टेंस पे थे and mass 1 kg हमने लिया था. So now what is happening? It is moving in this direction with v या 2 मीटर पर सेकेंड let's say. ठीक है, तो now we have center of mass here and it will remain at this point because velocity of center of mass 0 आ रहा है. Velocity of center of mass 2 into 1 plus 2 minus 2 into 1 divided by 4. So velocity of center of mass is 0 in this case, but let's say this box is moving with some velocity 4 meter per second. So अगर आप यहाँ बैठ के देखोगे तो velocity of center of mass तो आपको 0 दिखेगा, but if you observe from here, this box is also moving, so this is also moving with, this is moving inside the box with 2 meter per second, but box is moving with 4 meter per second. So from ground, velocity of this will be 4 plus 2, velocity in the frame plus velocity of frame. So this box is, this particle is actually moving from ground with respect to ground. It is moving with what velocity? Velocity of first particle is 2 plus 4. How much? It is 6 meter per second. What is the velocity of second particle? v2 is equal to, it is in negative direction. Now it is moving with minus 2 and the box is moving with 4. So its net velocity will be 2 in this direction. Velocity of particle in the frame plus velocity of frame. So minus 2 plus 4. Its velocity is 2 meter per second. Now if you find out the velocity of center of mass, what you will get? You will get its velocity is 6, its mass is 1. 6 plus m2 v2, 2 divided by total mass of the system 2. What we got? 4 meter per second. And definitely यही होना चाहिए because inside this block, this center of mass is at rest. Inside this block, this center of mass is at rest. It is not moving, but this box is moving. तो like बॉक्स का ये जो पॉइंट है, ये जो वॉल है, ये जो रूफ है, ये सब क्या है? बॉक्स की, ये सब बॉक्स की वेलोसिटी से जा रहे हैं. तो व्हाटएवर इज एट रेस्ट इनसाइड दैट बॉक्स विल मूव विद द वेलोसिटी ऑफ बॉक्स. आप जब बस में बैठे हो तो आप बस की वेलोसिटी से आगे जा रहे हो विद रिस्पेक्ट टू ग्राउंड. सो नाउ दिस सेंटर ऑफ मास इज मूविंग विद द velocity of box when we observe from ground. So its velocity should be 4 meter per second. We are getting, when you observe from ground, velocity of center of mass m1 v1 plus m2 v2 divided by m1 plus m2, we are getting 4 meter per second. So हमने जो भी किया सब कुछ क्या आ रहा है? सही आ रहा है. So this was the example कि भाई individual particles are moving with some different velocity, but center of mass is moving with some another velocity. Clear? So here possibility is that कि यहाँ पे इंडिविजुअल पार्टिकल की वेलोसिटी चेंज हो जाए. हो सकता है इंडिविजुअल पार्टिकल पे कुछ नेट फोर्स लग रहा हो. सो इंडिविजुअल पार्टिकल मे हैव अ वेरिएबल वेलोसिटी, बट इफ द नेट फोर्स ऑन द पार्टिकल इज ऑन द सिस्टम इज 0 and if it was having some initial velocity, then the center of mass will continue to move with the same velocity, and if it was at rest, it is going to remain at rest. जो कि हमने देखा, individual particles are moving but the center of mass is at rest. Now the next case is, if f net is not equal to 0, it means a of center of mass is not equal to 0. It means it will be some value constant or variable. So now if there is a net force on the system, it is going to have some acceleration. All the particles may have some acceleration. Center of mass will have some acceleration. Clear? And delta v of center of mass is not going to be 0. There will be a change in velocity of center of mass. Clear ये चीज? तो जैसे इसका और एक एग्जांपल क्या होता है, यहाँ पे जैसे हमने क्या बोला कि इनिशियल वेलोसिटी ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास इज 0 एंड इट विल रिमेन 0. सो इसका और एक एग्जांपल क्या है कि समटाइम्स जैसे आपने यहाँ पे रखा एक बॉल को या फिर एक बॉम्ब को, एंड दिस बॉम्ब वाज एट रेस्ट, अपना चुपचाप सड़क पे पड़ा हुआ था, एंड सडनली इट एक्सप्लोडेड into two particles. Let's say in first case both are of same mass, m and m. It was of mass 2m and दोनों क्या हो गए, m mass में टूट गए and both started moving. एक इधर जाने लगा v velocity से, एक इधर जाने लगा v velocity से. तो now what will happen? It is moving in this direction. So mv या फिर mv minus mv divided by 2m, we are getting v of center of mass as 0. So sometimes Like we have a bomb which is suddenly exploded, and then the individual particles will move with some velocity, but still the center of mass is going to remain at rest, because initially हम यहाँ x डायरेक्शन की बात कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि y डायरेक्शन में तो उस पर फोर्स है अभी. So x डायरेक्शन में यहाँ पे क्या होगा, there is no force acting on that bomb. So अगर उस पे नेट फोर्स पहले भी नहीं था, अभी भी नहीं है, then what is going to happen? Those particles are going to move such that the velocity of center of mass is going to remain zero. ये इस तरीके से मूव करेंगे, जैसे मैंने यहाँ एक एग्जांपल दिया. अब हो सकता है कि ये कुछ v डैश से चल रहा होता, या फिर एक m में टूटता और एक इसको 3m ले लेते हैं, तो एक m और एक 2m में टूटता. तो फिर क्या होता, एक कुछ v वेलोसिटी से चल रहा है तो दूसरा v डैश से चलता. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स वी आर गोइंग टू डू, जो कि इनमें आएगा. ठीक है, धीरे धीरे हम लोग देखेंगे ये क्वेश्चंस. तो यहाँ पे क्या है, अभी एट फर्स्ट वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू डिस्कस, दिस विल बी द लास्ट पार्ट. सबसे पहले हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे दिस केस व्हेन द नेट फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन द पार्टिकल इज जीरो, ऑन द सिस्टम इज जीरो, net force acting on the system is zero, and also initial velocity of the center of mass is zero. So particle was center of mass was initially at rest, center of mass was initially at rest, and it is going to remain at rest. Why? Because the net force on the system is zero. Net force on the system is zero. The center of mass will not have any acceleration, it does not have initial velocity, so it is going to remain at rest. The center of mass will remain at rest. So now I told you that A of center of mass is equal to F net on the system divided by total mass of the system. इस चीज को हम और अच्छे से समझते हैं. So now here we have three particles, 1, 2 and 3. So there are two forces on this particle, 1 because of 2 and because of 3, because of 3 because of 1, because of 2 and because of 1. Clear? So on first particle हमने we are naming the forces like this: F on 1 due to 2 plus F on 1 due to 3, F on 2 due to 3 plus F on 2 due to 1, F on 3 due to 1 plus F on 3 due to 2. These are the forces on 1, forces on 2, forces on 3. Now let's say that we have a force acting on it, F external 1, इस पे एक फोर्स लग रहा है एक्सटर्नली, इस पे भी एक फोर्स लग रहा है एक्सटर्नली, F external 2, and इस पे भी लग रहा है F external 3. Now this external forces are not because of interaction they have with each other, it is applied by an external agent. So now here if I want to find out the acceleration of center of mass, what I will do, acceleration of center of mass is equal to what, m1a1 plus m2a2 plus m3a3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. This is the acceleration of center of mass. So now how we will find out? So we have m1, this is m1, this is m2 and this is m3. So now here we have m1. Now acceleration of 1 will be total force on 1 divided by mass of 1. So total force on 1, F1 2 plus F1 3 plus F external 1 divided by its mass. This is the acceleration of first mass, plus m2 into acceleration of second mass, F21 plus F23 plus F external 2 divided by its mass. This is the acceleration of 2 plus acceleration of 3, m1a1 plus m2a2 plus m3a3. So F31 plus F32 plus F external 3 divided by its mass, m3. This is the m1a1 plus m2a2 plus m3a3 divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Clear? So here we are getting A of center of mass. So here we have individual acceleration of all these three particles. Individual acceleration of all these three particles. This is accelerated, this is accelerated, this is accelerated. So now what I can write, masses will get cancelled. Now F12 and F21 are action reaction pair. It is applying a force on this and it is applying the same force on this in opposite direction. So F12 and F21 are equal and opposite. So I can write F12 is equal to minus of F21. They are equal and they are opposite. So F12 is equal to minus of F21. So here we have F12 and here we have F21. So if F12 is equal to minus of F21, it means F12, take this in this direction, F21 is going to be equal to 0. So F12 plus F21, it is going to cancel this one. F13 and F31, it is going to cancel. F32 and F23, it is going to cancel. So now we have F external 1 plus F external 2 plus F external 3 divided by total mass of the system. So A of center of mass is, if we say this is external force on first particle, this is external force on second particle, this is external force on third particle. So this plus this plus this is the total external force on the system. Total external force on the system of these three particles. So I will write F external total divided by M total. So A of center of mass is equal to F external total F external force divided by total mass of the system. So what I am trying to say, कि if we have forces between these three particles, center of mass has nothing to do with that. Center of mass has nothing to do with the forces which are acting between these particles. Basically internal force. It has nothing to do with the internal force in that particular system. Center of mass का एक्सेलरेशन कब आएगा? सेंटर ऑफ मास बोलेगा मैं तभी एक्सेलरेट होऊंगा जब मुझ पे एक्सटर्नली कोई फोर्स लगेगा. मेरे ग्रुप के अंदर जो भी लोग हैं, whatever particles are there in the system, वो एक दूसरे पे क्या फोर्स लगा रहे हैं उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. सो बेसिकली सेंटर ऑफ मास इज दी, आप कह सकते हो बाप, उसको अंदर जो बच्चे खेल रहे हैं सिस्टम पार्टिकल्स ऑफ दैट सिस्टम, उससे उसको बिल्कुल फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. इफ सम एक्सटर्नल एजेंट इज गोइंग टू अप्लाई सम फोर्स, then center of mass will get accelerated. Otherwise, if they have some acceleration, if it has some acceleration, this also has some acceleration, this also has some acceleration. But if we have net external force 0, let's say यहाँ पे हमारे पास ये चीज तो सारी 0 हो गई, ये ऑलरेडी 0 हो चुकी है, तो हमारे पास सिर्फ क्या बचा है? हमारे पास चीजें बची है सिर्फ ये 3, है ना? तो हमारे पास सिर्फ ये 3 चीजें बची हुई हैं. So now if we have external force, if net external force acting on this system is 0, अगर हमारे पास external force लग ही नहीं रहा है, if this is 0, then the acceleration of center of mass is going to be 0. मान लो हमने कुछ फोर्स F ये भी लगाया, ये भी लगाया, ये भी लगाया, लेकिन इस तरीके से लगाया कि इन तीनों का भी जो समेशन आ रहा है that is 0, then center of mass is not going to accelerate. Center of mass is not going to accelerate. If it was at rest, it is going to remain at rest. If it was having some motion, then it is going to move with the same velocity. So basically हमने क्या देखा कि center of mass का जब आप acceleration find out करोगे, you will see कि सिस्टम क्या है, हमने सिस्टम क्या लिया है, आप उसको ध्यान से देखेंगे. And then if there is an external force, then the center of mass will get accelerated. And if there is no external force, if the external force is 0, center of mass is not going to get accelerated. So center of mass का जो acceleration है, it completely depends on the net external force. Particles एक दूसरे पे क्या force लगा रहे हैं internally, what is the interaction between them, उस पे center of mass का acceleration depend करने वाला नहीं है. So the first case which we are going to see is motion of center of mass is when the initial velocity of center of mass is 0 and acceleration of center of mass is 0. So basically center of mass is not going to move. Center of mass is not going to move from its place. So basically what we got, that F external net on the system is 0, A of center of mass is 0, velocity of center of mass is going to remain constant, and if initial velocity of center of mass is 0, it means center of mass is at rest, then it will remain at rest. This is the first case on which we are going to solve the problems. It will remain at rest. The center of mass will remain at rest. Center of mass will not move from its place. Center of mass will not move from its place. वही बैठा का बैठा रहेगा. या फिर आप बोल सकते हो displacement of center of mass. This is displacement. Displacement of center of mass is going to be 0. Velocity 0 है, velocity change में नहीं हो रही है. So displacement of center of mass. Center of mass is not going to get displaced. Or if you say location, this is location. Location of center of mass will remain unchanged. क्लियर है? सो हम क्या बोल रहे हैं? लोकेशन ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास इज गोइंग टू रिमेन अनचेंज्ड और डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास इज गोइंग टू बी 0. क्लियर है? डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास इज गोइंग टू बी 0. सो हमारे पास यहाँ क्या था? लोकेशन ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास. लोकेशन ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास क्या निकालते थे हम? m1r1 प्लस m2r2 up to mn divided by total mass of the system. Now let's talk about a particular direction. That in a particular direction it is possible कि y में उसमें कुछ force लग रहा हो but x में कोई force ना लग रहा हो. So if there is no force in x direction, it means acceleration of center of mass in x direction is going to be 0. We are talking about a particular direction. So if we take x direction and f net in x direction is 0, then a of center of mass in x direction is going to be 0. ठीक है? तो हमारे पास लोकेशन ऑफ या x ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास के लिख सकते हैं हम. x ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास इज इक्वल टू, अभी हम टू पार्टिकल सिस्टम के बारे में बात करेंगे. इफ वी हैव टू पार्टिकल सिस्टम, so what we'll have m1x1 plus m2x2 by m1 plus m2. This will be the location of center of mass. Now I want to find out the change in location of center of mass. And change in location ही क्या होगा? Displacement of center of mass. तो क्या करेंगे हम इसको differentiate करेंगे. तो delta x of center of mass मतलब change in location of center of mass is m1 delta x1 plus m2 delta x2 divided by m1 plus m2. ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे हमारे पास क्या जाएगा? चेंज इन लोकेशन ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास इज इक्वल टू, यहाँ पे हमने इधर चेंज लिया ना, तो यहाँ भी चेंज एंड दिस आर गोइंग टू बी कांस्टेंट. सो m1 डेल्टा x1 प्लस m2 डेल्टा x2 इज इक्वल बाय m1 प्लस m2. नाउ आई एम सेइंग कि इन दिस केस डेल्टा x ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास, दिस इज व्हाट? डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास इन x डायरेक्शन. सो डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास इज नॉट देयर. डिस्प्लेसमेंट कैसा है? 0. या फिर चेंज इन x coordinate of center of mass is 0. If it is 0, equate this to 0. इससे क्या आया? m1 delta x1 plus m2 delta x2 is equal to 0. इसका मतलब m1 delta x1 is equal to minus of m2 delta x2. This is the equation we are going to use while solving the motion of center of mass. While solving कि आपका जो इंडिविजुअल पार्टिकल है वो डिस्प्लेस हुआ है, मान लो एक इतने से डिस्प्लेस हुआ तो दूसरा कितने से डिस्प्लेस होगा इफ सेंटर ऑफ मास हैज नॉट मूव्ड फ्रॉम इट्स प्लेस. अगर सेंटर ऑफ मास अपनी जगह से नहीं हिला है और एक पार्टिकल अपनी जगह से हट गया है, देन दूसरा पार्टिकल कितना डिस्प्लेस होगा फ्रॉम इट्स लोकेशन. सो फर्स्ट पार्टिकल एंड इट्स चेंज इन लोकेशन, सेकेंड पार्टिकल एंड इट्स चेंज इन location. So if center of mass is not moving from its place, मतलब this is equals to 0, and from there we are getting this equation. So equation is m1 delta x1 is equal to minus m2 delta x2. ठीक है? यहाँ से आप और एक चीज क्या देख सकते हो कि delta x1 by delta x2 is equal to m2 by m1 with a minus, where minus is just showing the direction. ये डायरेक्शन दिखाएगा. भाई सेंटर ऑफ मास यहाँ पे था, मान लो सेंटर ऑफ मास यहाँ पे था, एंड द इंडिविजुअल पार्टिकल्स ऑफ माय सिस्टम वाज दिस एंड दिस. मान लो दोनों अलग अलग मास है. क्लियर? तो इसका मास है कुछ 5 kg, इसका मास है 10 kg. सो नाउ इट इज मूविंग इन दिस डायरेक्शन. तो अगर इसकी पोजीशन नहीं ये है तो सेंटर ऑफ मास क्या होगा? When individual particles are changing their position, center of mass will also get changed. तो इसको कंपनसेट करने के लिए इसको भी इधर आना पड़ेगा. then only the center of mass. अब क्या हो गया है, सेंटर ऑफ मास की लोकेशन यहाँ पे है, आई एम सॉरी, इस पार्टिकल की लोकेशन यहाँ पे है, तो सेंटर ऑफ मास विल गेट शिफ्टेड, तो इसको कंपनसेट करने के लिए इधर आना पड़ेगा। लाइक वी हैड सीन कि भाई एक पार्टिकल आपका यहाँ पे है, दूसरा पार्टिकल यहाँ पे है, एंड सेंटर ऑफ मास की लोकेशन इनिशियली इट वाज हियर, so when it was coming here and it was coming here, both were compensating the effect of movement. उनका जो भी डिस्प्लेसमेंट हुआ है, ये दोनों एक दूसरे के मूवमेंट के इफेक्ट को कैंसिल कर रहे हैं। सो एक अगर इधर गया है तो दूसरे को इधर आना पड़ेगा। सो सिमिलरली वी आर गोइंग टू सी द प्रॉब्लम्स वेयर वी विल सी इंडिविजुअल डिस्प्लेसमेंट ऑफ पार्टिकल इफ द सेंटर ऑफ मास इज नॉट मूविंग फ्रॉम इट्स प्लेस। तो अभी तो इस लेक्चर में हमारे पास टाइम बचा नहीं है, we'll solve problems on this topic in our next lecture. So अच्छे से पढ़ते रहेंगे, जो भी इसमें समझ नहीं आया है उसको एक बार पीछे जा करके देख लो एंड प्रॉपर नोट्स बना लेंगे। We are going to use this concept in the practice problems which we are going to do in the next lecture. So अच्छे से पढ़ते रहो, thank you.